dedication, and in accordance with its mission and bylaws.
Yes.
Wonderful. Congratulations. Not only have you been nominated and approved, you now are officially installed as members of the board. And I want to thank everyone for their willingness to serve. Forward to your leadership in the year ahead. Now, in addition to the individuals who have served, I also want to acknowledge that we have some people who had served up to this past year and no longer will be serving on the board in the future. One of those, Arnie Horowitz, we honored yesterday. And once again, Arnie, I want to thank you for 50 plus years of service to the board. You are irreplaceable. I don't know what we're going to do without you on the board, but I know that you will continue to attend those meetings that are important to you and will continue to raise issues to ensure the integrity of our operation going forward. So once again, congratulations, and we will miss you on the board. The other individuals who will not be returning to the board are Tammy Meyer, who most recently was VP of External Engagement. And for those of you who have been in her sessions so far this evening, you know what a terrific job she has been doing, along with our rabbis, in reaching out to the greater community. Steve Sells has been our financial secretary and has held us to a high standard. And I know that Joe, as he comes into this position as the new financial secretary, will also uphold those standards. And finally, Amy Frankel, who was a past officer and this year served as a trustee, will not be continuing. So in addition to applauding all the people who were board members, let's applaud the three of these individuals who have served for their commitment and for their continuing dedication to our synagogue. Serving on our board is a very important responsibility. Board members are responsible for ensuring that we stay true to our mission, that we forecast how we can best meet the needs of our congregants in the future, and they are very important for ensuring the financial integrity of our congregation. All that takes time, effort, thinking, and lots of time. So we are deeply appreciative for our current, our past, and our future board members for your willingness to take the extra time needed to make sure that we are the best little synagogue in Southwest Ohio. I am now going to turn the mic over to Rabbi Farrow, or I will in just a minute, but indulge me for just a couple more minutes because since I'm coming to the end of my 3-year term, I'm going to reminisce just a little bit. In English, there is an expression that there's no I in team. I prefer to use some Hebrew here and to talk about ani and anachnu. For those of you who speak Hebrew, ani means I, anachnu means we. There is no we without the I, and what I take that to mean, because they both come from the same root, is that in order to be a part of a team, each of us individually have to give of ourselves. But a team is incomplete if it only consists of one person, or if the person in charge is one whose ego overwhelms everything else. And that's why I believe in anachnu and not just a me. And during my time as president, I've tried to focus on building anachnu as a group, rather than just one person. Yesterday, when we observed Volunteer Shabbat, those of you who were here learned that more than 150 of us donated time in this past year, somehow to the congregation, either with our hands, our hearts, or our head. And you could really see how important our connections are with one another. And it is really due to all of us that Northern Hills Synagogue continues to thrive. So at this point, I just want everybody also to give each other a round of applause, because we are nothing without those of us who are involved. Equally important to our volunteers is our wonderful rabbinic leadership and staff. Both our spiritual leader, Rabbi Farrow, and our associate rabbi, Rabbi Shapra, move us spiritually, and they challenge us to be better versions of ourselves every single day, even if we have not watched Game of Thrones, Rabbi. We're blessed to have them. And just so you're aware, in the coming months, some of their responsibilities will change. As Rabbi Azriel departs to take a new job in another city, we currently are interviewing for a replacement office business manager. Those discussions are well underway, and we hope to be able to announce successfully a replacement very soon. But in the meantime, we are changing the nature of the position. So when this new person comes on board, that person will be supervised by Rabbi Farrow. The other change that we are going to make is, up until now, the executive director has supervised the marketing communications associate. In the future, once we go through this reorganization, that responsibility will fall to Rabbi Shapra. We are delighted that both are willing to take on these responsibilities. We're looking at it as a way for them to grow as well. I want you to join me in thanking them for being our version of the dynamic duo. Finally, we have been working hard, really hard, to secure our long-term financial future. Over the last many years, a small team headed by Sonia Milrod has focused on legacy giving, and we now have a substantial number of legacy commitments. Sonia can't be with us tonight, but oh my goodness, has she and the rest of that team worked really hard. So we know when we go out beyond 10 years that we will have the monies to help us operate. We have been concerned about what happens in the medium term. And for that reason, over the past year, we have been focusing on our Generations Together campaign. And tonight I want to report that this campaign has been extremely successful. As of today, we have 56 different families that have pledged a total of $1,379,508 in pledges to be paid over the next 5 years. That deserves a round of applause. This number exceeds the goal for the campaign, but we're not stopping there. We think that there's a rounder number that we can get to, and we still have some individuals that we think not only are committed to the synagogue, but have the ability to help support us over that next 10-year period. I do want to tell you that the proceeds from this campaign will allow us to engage in needed repairs and upgrades to our building, since it's now 21 years old. And among the new upgrades that you will see over the next several months will be a first-rate playground outside the school wing. And this is possible by virtue of this campaign. The proceeds will also allow us to continue our quality programming without running a deficit. And this is very important for the synagogue. There's another side benefit of the campaign. We don't anticipate any other major synagogue financial campaigns for many years to come. Now, I do want to give you a spoiler alert. We still expect everybody to pay dues, and we hope that you will continue your support of the High Holiday Appeal at the level at which we have been doing so in the past. So those two factors, combined with some of the outside funding we receive from Jewish Federation and foundations, should secure us in a really good way for years to come. There's a lot more that I could talk about. Instead, following our rabbi's remarks, what I'd like is for everybody to continue going to the small groups. I know in at least one of the small groups, the discussions ran over time, so you may want to go back to those particular ones. And if you're not interested in these, what we have to say in these 4 different sessions, we've got coffee, tea in the other room, and it's an opportunity to socialize. I want to thank everybody for the honor of having been your president. It really has been an honor. And I want to thank everyone who's helped in this past year. Under Bob's leadership, we will be able to do even greater things. And now, Rabbi, it's your turn to give us your perspective on the congregation and who we are. And we look forward to hearing what you have to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Connie. So the good news and the bad news. The good news is, well, the bad news is I've got 9 pages of remarks. The good news is they're very short pages. And I'm not reading all of them anyway. So thank you all for being here tonight. As Connie has already said, we thank you for what you do with your presence here, with your presence every day, with your spirit, your commitment, and your faith in the future of Northern Hills. We're taught in Pirkei Avot, Lo alecha hamlacha ligmor, it's not your duty to finish the work, but neither are you free to desist from it. And all of you being here tonight, all of you whom we thanked yesterday and continue to thank as volunteers, you're testaments to that fact, absolutely. The past year has been, in some ways, really extraordinary with some big accomplishments, and in some ways also a sign of continuity and growing things from the previous year into this year, and making a second iteration of certain things that we're able to say we're learning some habits. We undertook our mission, vision, and values process with Connie's leadership and clarified who we are and what we aspire to be as a place of celebration, joy, inquiry, caring, and inclusion. We launched the Netzach Social Action Committee with big toda rabba to Rabbi Shapra and to Lori Dubin on that, affirming that we are really truly committed to that principle of compassionate caring and going beyond the walls of our community as we do. We launched our Generations Together campaign and more than met our goals on that, which is amazing. We had to adjust our goals upward, which is a nice thing to be able to do. And we hosted our second annual second Seder, which is nice to be able to do. Some of you may have received a survey about that recently, and we hope you'll fill it out if you haven't already. We also continued with a second fundraiser for an outside organization, cementing some partnerships within the community and embodying our values of tzedakah and belief in our local community. We also grew some of our educational offerings, including welcoming over a dozen learners to our Intro to Judaism and Basic Hebrew classes. We deepened our relationships within the community by growing our partnerships with some other organizations to do children's programming, our educational programming, and are establishing some continuity there, even sort of making a name for ourselves as a place that people go for forums. So that was exciting. We are now, and with that as well, our school families cohort has grown, which we're happy to see. We also continued with the Sandy Richards Memorial Garden, and a big thank you to Ron and to his family for making that happen as both a literal and a figurative way of planting seeds of nourishment and hope. We have established a pattern of quarterly Shabbat programs on Friday nights, doing dinners in people's homes and encouraging people to invite people to their homes, as well as bringing folks here into the sanctuary for an expanded Musaf service for about 4 Shabbatot a year. Yesterday we celebrated the first of what I hope will be many volunteer appreciation paloozas, paloozot, if you will. In the future, we hope to see many more such instances. And we have also managed to acquire some rental agreements and some part-time agreements with some organizations that have looked to us whether to host events, festive events, meals, or to bring people here for screenings. We have those regular, ongoing throughout the year. And I think of them not just as little money makers for the synagogue, as something to do with the space during the week, but it's also an opportunity for us to be more invested in our community, more invested in the secular community, in the neighborhood around us. And we've definitely seen some positive shifts there. We hope that in particular our partnerships with JFS will continue in the future. And finally, as Connie mentioned, we managed to fence in a section of our yard, our property here, on which we are developing a playground. Indeed, with thanks to our Generations Together campaign, in particular, thanks to the Pornoy family for a gift that helped to bring that together. We, I think, we are, it's clear when we say that we are anticipating making ourselves more of a destination for families, for young families. We are certainly, I know those of you who are here on Sundays, glad to see our young families and our young people around, some of our parents hanging out in the lobby. Got comfy couches out there too for them. But in some ways, it's also a matter of if you build it, they will come. Anybody remember that one? And I think I truly do believe that about a number of things that we do around here, that as we start to think about what we want to be in the future, we do sometimes think about serving a constituency that's not yet beating down our doors to get in here, but just give them a second and give them a reason to do so. Looking ahead, I think we have truly laid a strong foundation. With the help of a new mission and vision and value statements, we are setting our sights on the future of what we want to be as a place to explore and experience Jewish life. We're called to deepen the spiritual, educational, communal offerings that recharge our souls, open new pathways for belonging and leadership, especially for families, young adults, and seekers of all kinds. And we've seen that very apparent in our Saturday morning synagogue attendance, as well as those folks who are coming in our doors for Intro to Judaism and Beginner Hebrew. And also to expand our reach through partnerships and programs like the ones I've described, as well as personal invitation, welcoming all who yearn for a spiritual home. And I know that many of you offer those invitations to folks in your orbit on the regular, and I say, go ahead. We affirm that Jewish community and experiences inspire lives of fulfillment, meaning, and deep human connection, and that we together are stewards of that sacred gift. And these are, I hope, more than just pablum, more than just words on paper. I believe they really are an embodiment of who we are as a community. Before I conclude, though, I want to take a moment to offer special thanks to our outgoing president, Connie Hennitz. Connie, your leadership has been a blessing to this community, and you have led with vision, steadiness, and an open heart, helping to guide us through times of change and opportunity alike. Your handprint is visible across many of the accomplishments we celebrate tonight, and your legacy will continue to shape our journey forward, due in no small part to the fact that you remain with us among our executives. On behalf of the entire congregation, I thank you for your tireless service and devotion to Northern Hills Synagogue, and hope that you will go from strength to strength, and always hope that you know you have helped us to build something holy and lasting. Finally, to all of you, and in particular to our new incoming leaders, our incoming officers, our incoming board members, thank you for your faith in this community. Thank you for your hands and for your hearts. Together we have managed to build something beautiful, and will continue to dream and to work and celebrate and grow. I hope that we will all be blessed with another year of strength, vision, and joy, in which we see our synagogue and all who call it home continue to go Michael Michael, from strength to strength. And thank you all. And I think with that, we're well over our time, and we want to get back to our sessions. Connie, do you want to? We'll invite everybody to return to our regularly scheduled programming, which includes our 4 ongoing sessions in the chapel, boardroom, library, and youth lounge. Thank you all for being here tonight. I really appreciate it. We will end our live stream. All right. Baruch Tieh.